Always low prices at Pahrump Valley Auto Plaza.
The Honorable Judge Robert Lane has awarded the Est Alpha Kennel dogs to Nye County. That includes the 5 dogs that caretaker Oksana Higgins were stating to the court that were her own personal dogs. This was the ruling on a civil case that was held on Wednesday morning in district court following a bankruptcy hearing in which the custody was held up for the abused and neglected animals, which were confiscated from a property in Amargosa and Pahrump. The judge's ruling made clear that these dogs, which were a total in excess of 300, were no doubt abused.
Here today on a dispositional hearing for the dogs and motions for return of the property and to suppress evidence. The motion to return property is denied. The motion to suppress evidence is denied. For the dispositional hearing pursuant to 574.055 subsection 4, I'm going to order that the Sheriff's Office use their discretion regarding auction, destruction, or continuing the care for disposition as the officers see fit. I'm going to make a finding that there was abuse and neglect of the animals. The evidence was overwhelming. Pursuant to the ASPCA case, although there are different degrees of abuse, if some dogs are abused greatly and some are abused just a little bit, the court can forfeit all the dogs, so we're going to forfeit all the dogs. I haven't heard any testimony from Ms. Higgins that the 5 dogs are hers or which 5 dogs it was. And since she was present in Amargosa Valley when the dogs were going through the mistreatment, I find that all the dogs should be forfeited pursuant to that statute. And the arguments about the Sheriff's Office, Commissioner Carbone's, or the court are red herrings to the only issues that are at bar right now. Tom may develop them in the future for criminal or other civil matters, but for this hearing, they're red herrings. And I concur with the state's analysis of the trustee for the bankruptcy.
The motion to suppress was not heard in Judge Lanes Courtroom on Wednesday. That has been filed in Beatty Justice Court concerning the 5 charges that Vasily Platnov and Oksana Higgins are now facing concerning these animals. The hearing is now scheduled for January 9th of 2023. It's unclear if Nye County will seek that the pair will not be allowed to own or breed animals again. The judge in the civil case did order a lien in the amount of $114,315.44 for the care of the dogs to be paid to Nye County. Dr. Saver from the ASPCA and the Nye County Animal Shelter Manager, Tasha Crabtree, gave testimony in court of the details of the conditions of these animals. Dr. Saver went over each animal and the body index score and injuries, infections, fractures, missing limbs, dental disease, ear and eye infections, conditions of muscle loss, temperament, malnourishment, and more in detail.
Were there any other types of infections other than ear infections?
Yeah, as I previously talked about, many of these wounds were infected. Infected wounds usually exude pus-containing discharge or serosanguinous discharge. So there was evidence that many of these wounds were untreated and infected. Two of the dogs that received forensic examinations had masses. One dog had a black mass on the end of his muzzle or his nose. Another dog had 4 separate masses. She had one mass that was hanging and pulling the skin on the left side of her face. She had another on one of her forelimbs, one along her back, and then on the ventral aspect or the lower aspect of her right mandible or jaw.
No, the very few kennels, like I said, that had water, they had these algae muddy buckets, and they were only partially filled. So it was so hot out there. I honestly can't believe that there are kennels without water.
Did you make an observation regarding all the dogs regarding their reaction to these conditions?
Yeah, overall they appeared sad, uncomfortable. They were agitated, to say say the least. You know, again, being cohabitated like that is not ideal, not only for this breed, an animal this size, or animals that are left without food or water.